Hi there, welcome to the Wurdenberg Family Farm with Dawn and Brenda.
It's been a super busy spring. We're really anxious to share what we've been up to. Well, we know every spring is going to be busy. We're basically waking up the farm, getting things ready, getting things growing.
And everything needs done at the same time.
That's true. Crunch time.
We've done that for the last 5 years, and we know it's a crunch time. But this year it was extra crunch time because we had some surprises.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them later, aren't we?
Yeah, so we'll explain some of the stuff, what we've been going through, and the new surprises.
But you know, after a winter of being pent up and just doing other projects like the bathroom project, I was really anxious to get outside and get some work going.
Yeah, it feels good to be outside.
Now, coming out of winter, we did have some carryover produce, didn't we?
I had some spinach that I had all winter long under some fleece. And it kind of stays not growing real fast during the winter, and then come spring, it explodes. So I had a huge harvest of spinach. And I did sell some at the farm stand, but the rest I turned into some delicious egg casseroles, egg with spinach and feta. And then I also freeze-dried a bunch, which I powdered, and my daughter-in-law likes adding that to her dishes to help add some nutrition to them. So that was the first big thing I had to do this spring.
It went pretty well, didn't it?
Well, the last few weeks, I have seen him on a lawnmower a lot of the time.
Well, you know, when springtime comes around and that grass gets growing, I'm anxious to cut the grass, and it looks amazing, but it grows so quickly. So we expect the normal amount of cutting and, the lawn, the grass around the house and the barn. But on a farm, there's a lot more to it than that. We have a large perimeter area all the way around the farm that we have to cut. We also have to cut the inside and the outside of the pastures to keep the grass from growing and touching the fence.
I'm glad he does that path the whole way around the farm, because that's a wonderful way to walk Ruby every day. So she loves that path.
Yep. This is just one of the chores we do here on the farm. It's not that interesting or thrilling. We're certainly not going to make a video all about it. But basically, I get on our Kubota zero turn, and I cut all around the inside and the outside of the pasture. It keeps any of the grass from going up onto the wire and shorten it out. And of course, I do it while the cattle are in there, so they're very curious. In fact, they're coming over now, just trying to see what we're doing. But you can come for a ride with me if you like and see what we do.
You're going to have to move, TJ.
Well, every spring you have a really fun job to do, don't you?
Maybe not so fun. I have to clean out the hen house, the part where they sleep at night. And I use a deep bedding of hemp. And I only clean out once a year because the hemp really keeps the odor down. But that means once a year I have to climb up in there, shovel it all out, clean it out, and put new stuff in. And it's really not much fun, but it feels good to get it done every year.
Yeah, well, that deep bedding really does work, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. You know, I'd really like to help you in there, but I think it's time for my nap.
Well, he not only spent a lot of time on mowers, he also spent a lot of time with a shovel in his hand.
Yeah. The orchard has about 45 trees in it, and we wanted to expand it because Brenda loves peaches.
So I want more peach trees.
Yeah, and a few other fruit trees. In addition, we wanted to put some nut trees outside of the perimeter of the fence. So during the winter, I expanded the fence line, and we got ready. In the spring is when the bare root trees come. So we planted about 28 trees, and they were all bare root. So far, so good. I'm really looking forward to the nut trees and the pawpaws and persimmon. We have some unusual fruits and nuts.
Now it'll be a while till we see any of those, but it's a good time to do it now.
All right, it's an evening, and we're working late today because our bare root trees arrived. Now normally we buy these from one of the local nurseries that services the fruit belt that we have here in South Central PA, but they were out of Bartlett pears, and somebody in this house will only eat Bartlett pears. Who is that?
I don't know who that could be. Somebody with really good taste.
Yeah, that's it. So bare roots, we got these from Stark. They have a good reputation. I wish there was a little more root there, but we're going to go ahead and plant this. And this is the graft point, and these are dwarf trees. So I'm going to have to put a little. We got some of our good homemade compost, and I soaked the bare root for a bit, and I'm going to put some compost in the pile here and then mix it with some of the soil. I dug these holes a few days ago, so they dried out a little bit, but I just put water in the hole and it's soaking in nicely. So let's go ahead and put this in place, see how it goes.
Spring's a time when I actually start planting everything. You know, February and March, I'm in the grow room getting the seeds started, getting them going, and then it comes time to actually plant them out in the garden and the tunnel. So that's a lot of digging in the dirt, which I enjoy, but it was a lot of digging. So everything seems to be doing well right now, except cucumbers. I had roly-polies that ate my cucumbers, so if you have any advice on roly-polies, let me know. All right, we have a hot day and 84 tomatoes to plant. If only I could be like I Dream of Jeannie and go, and they'd all be done. Think it would work?
Well, let's plant one and see what happens.
Now, I already have the holes partially dug, and these are the ones that I did experimental in the things for tree seedlings. So they have deep, deep roots. So I have to get pretty far down there. And this one was tall enough to be staked up.
So that's an extra deep.
Extra deep, yes.
A double stacker.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it made a difference or not, you know? They do come out fairly easy, see? But you got to be careful, they can fall apart. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at those roots. Put it in place and put all the dirt back around it. But there, he's planted.
But that root,
He's kind of bent there.
that's probably already 6 inches long.
Oh, yeah.
6 or 8.
Yeah, and I'll probably even pile the dirt up around a little bit more and put some mulch around it too. So the more roots you have, the stronger the roots you have, the better the tomato will be. So let me clip him up so he'll start growing the right way.
So they love the heat, don't they?
There we go. They do. They thrive in the heat.
And it's warm in there.
It's very warm in here.
You're melting, I can tell.
Yep, I'm melting. I wish we had some 70-degree days instead of going right to 88. That's a little hot for me. So, well, time to keep working, unless this works.
I did some planting too outside of the main gardens. We have some large plots where we do sweet corn and buckwheat and pumpkins. So I had to plow the fields and get them ready to go. So.
And along with all the planting and stuff, we also have to get the irrigation ready for the year. We kind of pack some of it up for the winter. Then springtime, it's getting everything hooked back up, seeing what might leak, what needs repaired, and just getting it set up for the whole summer. So that took time too.
So now we're good to go.
We are good to go. Everything's being irrigated now.
So in addition to all that planting and mowing and getting ready, we got to open the farm stand in the spring. Now this is the 5th year for the farm stand, and Brenda, you have a really good routine there. We got it set up pretty quickly this year.
Yeah, we have all the stands and tables and displays and things ready. So it's just a matter of getting them all set up for the summer and getting the produce out there, getting it prepared and putting it out. Right now, asparagus is the big thing.
Yeah, and we're always happy when the big cooler out there works every year when you plug it in after
refrigerator.
Resting over winter.
Yeah, so it's up and running now. So all of those things we talked about, we expected. We knew it happens every spring. We're busy. We do that stuff. But the thing we didn't expect was all the activity with our bees.
We did have a lot of drama, didn't we?
It's been crazy. I mean, one day we walked out and there's like a tornado of bees. And if you raise bees, that they're swarming or they're preparing to swarm or practicing or something. So we knew something was happening. But
well, if you're not familiar with bees, bees propagate every spring. If their hive is strong and they're doing well and the population is high, they will divide out. The queen will take half of the population of the hive, leave the hive box all at once, and they usually will land somewhere in the area, and then they send scouts out to find a permanent home. And that's the way that bees, honeybees, will grow and propagate the species. So we're aware of that to a degree, but we've only been beekeeping now for 4 years. Yeah.
So we're novices at this.
Yeah. So we were just delighted last year that all 4 of our hives made it through the winter. And previously we only had 2 hives. So, you know, we sell a lot of honey at the farm stand. So we're thinking this is awesome. We're going to have a lot of honey. Well,
we eat a lot of honey.
Then the drama started.
Yeah.
So.
And that particular day when they were going like a tornado, they actually ended up bearding, it's called, when they all kind of congregate on the front of the hive. And we thought, well, they're not swarming right now. It was a practice or something. So we just went back in. But that night...
Yeah, I looked at the, there's a soft white pine tree only about 10 or 12 feet from the hives. And I saw a swarm in there. And it was a pretty small swarm, but nevertheless, it's the first swarm of the year. We were excited, so we got all of our gear. We went out there, we got the extra box in place and put it in, you know, in place. And it was pretty neat, wasn't it? But it was very easy.
Yeah, this one was an easy one because all you had to do was cut one little branch off the pine tree since it was small and place it in the boxes. Yeah. So that was a fairly easy capture.
Yeah. Because that was small too, I also went, we suspected which hive it came from. So I took a few extra frames of bees, you know, shook them in there, and I also took some brood from there and put it in there to give them a boost, to make sure that they were big enough to be able to survive.
So we were pumped. We had 5 hives.
Yeah, way to go.
A few days later, I'm in the house, and I get a phone call. Brenda, you're not going to believe this. There's another hive, another swarm in a maple tree by the bees. Yeah. And this one was not so easy to capture.
No, it was in up in the tree. It wasn't real high, maybe 7 or 8 feet, but it was a little harder than the first one.
They were all just gathered up around the trunk of the tree.
So it took 2 of us. Brenda goes, we put our gear on. She has a large plastic box that she puts on one side of the tree. Then I go around to the other side of the tree and give it a shake with a jerk, and that causes the bees to fall off. Now what you're really hoping for is that the queen goes in the box with all the bees, because you can see in the tape where Brenda pours it in the box, and then is the moment of truth.
Because if the queen's in the box, even if there's bees left on the tree, they will end up in the box. They sense or they send messages or whatever.
Right away. Yeah, there must be the pheromones.
But that particular hive, swarm number 2, the bees started going back to the tree. So we knew the queen was still on the tree. We had to give it another shake. Yep. But the second shake, we got her.
Yep. She poured it back in, and boom, they all went in. So now we're feeling pretty good. 2 hives. We've You know, we had one swarm other year, but this is the first time we had 2 swarms.
And we're up to 6 hives at that point.
Yeah.
The very next day, there was another swarm in the next tree right next to the one we just had gotten one.
And it was even a little bigger, wasn't it?
But it was the same thing on the trunk.
Each is getting
it was
bigger.
still on the trunk, hard to get, but we got the queen on the first shake.
Yep.
So at
so
that
there
point,
we go. We're getting better.
We have 7 hives at that point. And we
now,
thought, okay, we're done. We're done.
And now we're running low on some of our boxes and gear. We don't really have a complete setup. So we had a couple days of rain, and we thought, okay, that's it. We're done. We're very happy to have 7 hives. You know. Well, we had a beautiful day, and it was just today. Sunny. You can hear the breeze probably in the video. Great day. And Brenda had the grandchildren over.
I was watching the 2 youngest grandkids.
So I was out back and I took a picture, I came around and showed her.
I'm
and
like,
there it
oh
goes.
no.
Another hive, another swarm in the white pine.
And this time with the babies, I couldn't help him capture it, so he tried to do it by himself.
Yeah, and that wasn't so
It's not
graceful.
a one-man job. It
No.
goes better with 2.
No, so it took about 4 or 5 shakes.
But he got it.
It was, but while I was setting up for that, I was seeing a lot of activity, hearing like, what's going on? And more bees were leaving from one of the other hives and flying in the opposite direction, going toward the pasture again in one of the maple trees. So,
swarm number 5. But that one was a nice, easy capture. It was the biggest swarm.
oh,
it was
by
huge.
far, it was enormous. It seems like each swarm was getting
Got a little bigger.
and bigger.
But it was nice because it was on one of the branches out, hanging out from the tree. So it was easy to just put the box under it, good shake, and we got almost all the bees. Poured them in, had the queen, and we would have had 9 hives. We don't have room for 9 hives, so we're actually giving the last one to a friend.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa, Bessie.
Oh, that was a good cat. Don't dump them too hard there. Okay.
Get the lid on. Quick, 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 they're flying out. Okay,
Boy.
is the queen in there?
Boy, we got like 95% of them. Yeah.
But it's just,
You know,
we didn't expect this.
When you have a bad winter and you lose bees, it costs about $225, $250 to get a package, what they call a nuke of bees. So when all of your bees survive and you get 5 or 6, new ones, that's
I
amazing.
mean, this is like unheard of for us. This is just unbelievable. So
Yeah.
we're riding high on lots of bees, but we're also hoping we don't find any more swarms.
Yeah, because in a way they were our own bees before,
Yeah.
but what it shows is that the hives were so healthy and there's so many bees in there. So I
So if
feel good
anybody's
about
local,
that.
we're going to be selling lots of honey in the next year or 2.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. Put your glove on before you get stung.
So in addition to the bees, we had one other new chore that's added a lot of joy to our life, but it's taken a lot of time.
That's our little puppy, Ruby.
Yeah.
She's actually, I think, 4.5 months old, so she's not so little anymore. She's over 30 pounds.
Yep.
But she is a delight. I mean, she's a puppy.
Yeah.
And some days she can drive you crazy, but she is just wonderful.
Well, it's good she's so cute because some days she drives us crazy,
Yes.
but other days she's very good. I think
Yeah.
she's in your boot camp, I think.
Yeah, well, we're really working on trying to stop the jumping and the chewing, all the puppy stuff. But she's learning all the basic commands, and she listens most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she does love walking around the farm, hanging out and doing the chores on the farm. But she loves playing frisbee or fetch with him.
Yeah. Oh, she's getting pretty good at it too. She's very fast. And I noticed with her one other thing when we walk, she is a bird dog through and through. Whenever she sees any kind of a bird, she just stops and just watches.
Yeah, she's definitely into her birds.
Yeah, and another thing, she loves to farm animals. She goes up to the fence when the cows are there, and the cows walk up and they put their nose right up to the fence, and then she puts her nose right up, her butt goes up and the nose down, and then she jumps, and then the cows jump back.
I mean, the cows are fascinated with her, and she's fascinated with the cows.
Yeah, they're trying to figure each other out.
Yeah.
There.
She also likes the chickens. I'm not going to let her in with them, but she loves watching them, just seeing what they're doing.
The only one that's not really happy is Buddy the cat.
Yeah, they don't really want to play together. Well, Ruby would play with Buddy, but Buddy wants nothing to do with Ruby.
No.
They get too close, and Buddy's out of here.
Yep.
So, but other than that, she's a puppy, and it's a lot of work, but we are so happy we got her.
But on certain nights we see her acting like a dog. She'll just lay up, cuddle up on the floor with you, and you go, oh,
And
this
chew
is
a
what I
bone
wanted.
or chew a bully stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a dog.
Yep.
So,
We're still in love with Ruby.
yeah.
So if we look tired, it's because we are tired, but we're very happy.
Yeah. We don't want to romanticize, the farm work, the homestead. A lot of days, it's a lot of work, especially in the spring.
Yes.
And occasionally, you go, what did we get ourselves into?
Especially by nighttime when you're exhausted, it's like,
Yeah.
what have we done? But you get up the next day and you're excited to start the next day.
Yeah. And you have a beautiful evening like it is tonight, where we're on the front porch and the breeze is blowing and then the grass looks nice. You can see all your work, and it's like,
Flowers
wow,
are blooming.
this is very rewarding.
Yes, it is.
But you have to have the energy and the tolerance for a lot of work.
And I'm not young, so I'm losing one of my volunteers in the garden.
Yeah.
So I'm looking and rounding up some other volunteers because it is definitely too much for me. So we'll see how this year goes.
Yeah. And we've been pretty faithful over the last year putting a video out every week, but we realized that sometimes when things get really busy, we just can't do that. So I hope that you will show us some grace and not being able to put out a video every week.
If we don't get one out, you know that we are going crazy again, keeping busy.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll have a good video the next week. And we do want to give you a more accurate, realistic picture of what it's like on a farm and a homestead. So hopefully you can see that.
I hope you enjoyed watching how busy we were and seeing how tired we are. But we are still very happy. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.